Hey everybody, Eric from Catskills. Today in the video we're going to be doing some pirate hunting. Pirate hunting started with the High Seas expansion a number of years ago and is probably the best way to gather resources, rare resources like colored ingots and colored boards, wood boards and leather. So, I need some of that stuff for training my crafter characters, so we're going to jump into it. If you're just getting started with pirate hunting, first thing first, you need to have the High Seas expansion. And after you get that, you need to buy, I guess, your first little boat. You can buy any boat from a dock master and sail your way out to the sea market, which is a new area out in the middle of the sea, just north of Fire Island or just south of Moonglow. Or in this case, just to the east of Magencia, which is probably the best and quickest way to get there. The only way to get there is by boat. You can't mark runes at the sea market. You can't recall in. So the only way to get there is to float there on a boat. So I would suggest, you buy your first little boat, set sail from Magencia, go straight east, and go to the sea market. There you can find a dock master who sells special boats called galleons. And there are two types of galleon you can buy. You can buy a Takano galleon or Takano ship, and you can buy a gargoyle ship, which is what you're looking at right now. The Takano ship gives you a bonus to fishing. So if you are making a fisher character for fishing up messages in a bottle, you would probably want to use a Takano ship. If you're pirate hunting, I've tried both, and I would suggest the gargoyle ship, as you get 3 cannons per side instead of just 2 with the Takano ship. So it just helps take down the pirate ships and merchant ships that much quicker. So to get started with with hunting pirates, you need to buy yourself some cannons. Cannons can be crafted by a blacksmith, or you can get them probably off player vendors, because I know when I'm hunting pirates, in rare cases, the pirate ship will actually have a deed for a cannon on it, and I know I have a number of them in my house that I'm going to be putting up for sale. So if you're ever on Catskills, you need some cannons or cannonballs, that sort of thing. I should have a vendor up for you to buy that stuff off of. So just use the vendor search. But in addition to cannons, you need cannonballs, you need fuse cord, and you need fused, powder charges. The fuse cord can be made by an alchemist. The powder charges can be made by a tailor. You need, a bunch of different components, black powder and so forth. I would suggest, rather than going and getting all the raw materials and crafting your own powder charges and fuse cord, that you just use the vendor search and pay the money and just buy a commodity deed of those resources. So just forget making it. It'll cost you probably 50,000 gold to get started, but it saves you a lot of hassle. And once you have enough cannonballs and shot fuse cord and powder charge to get started, then it's pretty well self-sustaining. You get more than enough powder charge and all that stuff from the pirate ships that you take down. So looking for pirates, you either want to go east of Jalom in the East Jalom Sea, or I haven't actually done any pirate hunting up there, but north of Moonglow, north of Dagger Island. You should be able to also find some pirates up here somewhere. That's what I hear, but I've never actually bothered looking there. I'll leave that up to you. And the other decent place to find pirates would be in Takano. So if you were to take a look at Takano, you go, I guess, to the east of Zento, the capital city, in the southeast sea of Takano. You can find a number of pirates there, And there's also some to the north as well, up by the Fan Dancer Dojo. I've seen some pirates up there as well. So once you have yourself a cannon equipped ship, you can, and outfitted with, ammunition and cannons and so forth, go ahead and drop your boat in. I would suggest probably Takano is the best place, although, any of the other two places I told you would work. I drop in here at the docks where the officer is. So the officer at Zento, and there is an officer like this at the Sea Market as well, but the Zento one is much easier to reach than the Sea Market, as you can recall right to him. He offers a quest for you to hunt pirates. If you take the quest, you will get a pirate binding rope put in your backpack. And that rope is used to tie up pirates. Once you lower them to, 4% health or so, you can use the pirate binding rope to tie them up, and then they get bound to the pirate binding pole on your ship. And once the pirate's captured, you can go back to the officer and they'll give you a reward. And the rewards you get vary. You can get special cannonballs. You can get plans for an orc ship. So I guess there's 8 parts. You get one of 8, I guess, pieces of blueprints for an orc ship. And once you have all 8, you can make yourself an orc ship. And besides the Britannian ship, the orc ship is probably the best ship for pirate hunting, because it has the most cargo capacity and it has 3 cannons per side, more than the gargoyle ship, more than the Takano ship. So it's worth getting. You're going to be hunting the pirates anyway, so you might as well just do it and get it over with. I haven't gotten one yet, but that's plans for the future. So as you can see, we're taking down a pirate ship. This is just a standard, run-of-the-mill pirate ship. There's 3 different types of ships that you can find pirate hunting or pirating. So you have the pirate ship, you have which will have a number of orc ship hands that might, some orc mages, some orc bombers, and then the main pirate is, a red named evil NPC that has a bow. And generally the bow skill on the pirate boss mob, I guess you could call him, is obviously pretty low, so he doesn't hit very hard or very often. So it's usually pretty easy going. I never felt at risk at one point doing any of this. So basically you just use the cannons to blast the ship, firing broadsides, and then once the ship stops moving, then you can click on the ropes that are on the sides of the ship, and you can jump over, and once there you clean out all the monsters and start beating on the pirate himself. So the second type of ship that we encounter is a merchant ship. And the crew on this merchant ship, first of all, they're riding a Takano ship. And the crew on this ship is all good aligned. And they don't fight you if you're a good aligned character. So when you encounter one of these as a good aligned character, it's almost like hitting the lottery. They don't fight back. You don't need to kill them. And once you scuttle the ship, you can just board and, loot all the items. So as you can see, there is quite a large amount of rare resources like valerite, verite ingots, spine leather, barb leather, that sort of thing. And a really, really worthwhile encounter. And the last encounter that we will have with doing the pirate hunting is going to be a pirate beacon. So this beacon is stationary. It doesn't move. When you encounter one, there is 4 orc pirate NPCs on each side, and each one mans a cannon. If you pilot your ship in range of any of the cannons on either of the 4 sides of the beacon, they will blast your ship for a good amount of damage. And you can take a number of direct hits and not really cause any issues, but if you are unaware of how damaged your ship might be, and they manage to hit you a few times, you could end up getting your ship scuttled, which means that it doesn't move anymore until you repair it. So it might be worthwhile to just keep your eyes open. If you start seeing your ship taking damage, maybe back away. Let your summons do the work for you. But if you generally come in on one of the corners, like I am right now, the cannons can't or won't hit you, so it's not as much of a concern. You just come in from either the east or the west, and drop a Colossus or an energy vortex or whatever summon that you have, and just take out the crew. And after all the crew is taken out, then you can go after the beacon itself. To go after the beacon, the best way to do it is to just drive your boat right up into it and use the bow cannon to shoot at the lighthouse. Now you can hit it with a ranged weapon. You can even hit it with spells, but your bow cannon will do 5,000 damage or more per hit, and depending on what you use for a weapon or what spells you use and how much spell damage you have, you might be hitting at most for 100, 150. So you really can't beat the bow cannon. So just keep loading and firing that bow cannon until you take down the lighthouse. And once you take down the lighthouse, you get your reward. And in this case, the reward you get is maritime cargo. Now that cargo in the tooltip will tell you the city that it was destined for. And if you take that cargo to that city, to the trade minister, and the trade ministers are usually at the docks, you can turn it in by dropping it into a crate, and that will give you reputation towards that city. Now, most of the time, you're probably going to take it to Buccaneer's Den, just beside the bank. There is a black market merchant. This black market merchant will buy your maritime trade cargo, so you can sell it to him using the context menu. And when you sell the cargo, you get paid in doubloons. So different qualities of cargo will give you different values of doubloons. The mythical quality cargo that you get from the pirate beacons give you the most, so it's worthwhile collecting those. And the rewards you can get vary. There's a bunch of decorative items, statues, paintings, There's a shoulder parrot that you can actually have sit on your shoulder in your paper doll. There's a number of reward titles that you can get. There's cannons, special cannons that you can get for your ship. And there's also a pet, Triton pet, the Triton, which I see a lot of players with. My tamer is still a work in progress. But also you can get these whips. These whips are very interesting. They're one-handed weapons, but they have whirlwind, and I've seen a few players with those whips as well. And they also have hit explosion. So I want to try out some of those whips in the future and see what I can do with them. See if they're viable for some use. But the big item that everyone really wants is this hook shield, and mostly because of the spell damage increase. Yeah, so that is pirate farming in a nutshell. If you made it this far in the video, I know it's gone extra long, but if you made it this far, I would ask you to like and subscribe. That's it for me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.